understand. Will they fuck it all up or will they save the land? Treachery, vanity, loitering and worse. They are their own worst enemies. These fuckers don't need no cause. Authors and dragons. Authors and dragons. Their powers combined, a group of fantasy authors take on a sadistic games master. Will they survive? I hope not. I hate these guys. Authors and dragons! Authors and dragons!
Hi, my name's Joseph Barassi. I play the role of Bjorg Bjornsson, enthusiastic and violent barbarian. I was an author on the Mongoliad books. My novels Skyfarer and Dragon Road can be found everywhere books are sold. And I am the other author of such non-existent titles as It's a Face in My Face, on My Face, oh God.
Hey everyone, my name is Rick Gualtieri and I play Silas Kane, who unmasked last week as Arrow of the Gods, but nobody believes him, so secret identity, yeah. In real life, I write several things, but my big news right now is I am pushing everything towards a direct shop. Right off my website, you can go to Rick G's Tome of Deals, where instead of giving a chunk of your money to to buy Jeff Bezos another yacht, you can give it all to me instead. How awesome is that? Because I don't have any yachts, at least not yet.
Hello, friends. My name is Robert Bevan. I play the role of Klaus Richter, the notorious rogue, and someone who's always suspected Arrow of the Gods of being Silas Kane. In real life, I write the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories, starting with the first book, Critical Failures. Go get it.
Hi there, my name is Steve Weverill, and I play Brandon Firemaster, the monk who definitely didn't see Silas Kane pretending to be Arrow of the Gods. He has deliberately forgotten that. In real life, I write such books as the Doomsayer Journeys, and you can find them on the internet.
Hey everybody, I am Drew Hayes, the bugbear judge of this shit court, the dungeon master of this game, and author of books such as Superpowers, NPCs, and Fred the Vampire Accountant, the latest of which, Posthumous Education, is available in ebook, audio, and print. And when last we left our intrepid adventurers, they, Oh wait, what's this? No, this can't be right. They had gone back to receive quest completion rewards for something they had done. Oh, this is clearly fucking bullshit. But it's what's written down, so I guess we're just gonna have to pretend that somehow y'all did do something competent and got yourselves a bunch of kick-ass weapons, and even have secured another source of additional infantry for your upcoming battle. For those who are keeping track, so far they have won over the Golem and its creations, as well as Judge Hungry and however much force he commands.
I still feel bad I didn't kill more of those creations.
So we've got one broken golem and a Judge Hungry. I think that's probably all we need.
And Prometheus.
And Prometheus.
And the Egg Child.
I mean, if you can mentally enslave an aboleth, that's not bringing nothing to a fight.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Handy, considering our foe, also.
Indeed. So, basically, Judge Hungry has dismissed you all to wander through Landport, restock where you are able. Things are a bit more pressed since you were here, since the attacks have kept up.
Caldern.
Caldern, that's right. Landport was the last one. So Caldern, and again, things are thinner, but you can still find some things, past common. You just have to roll for them. And y'all stocked up on potions, etc. So, you have basically the rest of the day to prepare, be it through shopping, prayer, working on, I don't know, spells, whatever your individual class requirements might be. You have a game session before a big-ass fight. do with that information what you see fit. We are going to go ahead and roll into initiative, though, just so we can track everybody and it's not a scramble.
Silas rolls a 12.
Brandon Flymaster rolls a 12.
Bjorg rolls a 9.
Klaus Richter rolls a 16.
All right, and for some reason, the turn order thing captured absolutely none of
Oh,
that.
no, it just refreshed.
Oh,
It
there it
just
went.
refreshed. There we go.
Weird.
I clicked on my icon.
I believed y'all were going. It was just showing me a blank screen.
Maybe that's just what happens when we all remember to click on our icon. I don't know.
Yeah, even this thing was like, wait a minute.
What the fuck is going on? Quest completion, icon clicking? This is not the podcast I signed up for.
It took us 7.5 years. And as you all step outside and begin the shopping that you did last session, we'll say y'all kind of wandered through the market to knock that part out, and a bucket falls from the sky, crashing onto Fandingo's head.
He was definitely on his way to horse. That's
Yeah.
probably just as well.
Honestly, Caldern is probably better off for the bucket. All right, Klaus, you are up first in initiative, so you can, make your preparations and journey first.
All
We're
right.
all just looking at the courtroom because, that's what it is.
I've
I
got,
think I actually do still have the map for Caldern.
I have, a weapon that I was gifted. I'm not going to do any better than that. I don't want any better than that. That's a fantastic weapon. I have +1 studded leather armor. Probably not doing better than that, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for context of the scale of D&D, since we did kind of change over systems, a +1 is sort of your that's attainable. That you have to have the gold and maybe the connections for it, but that's doable. A +2 is a lot rarer, like truly very, very difficult to find. You would maybe be able to purchase it in like a really high end city with like lots of money flowing through it. +3s are basically considered legendary from the way they're labeled. Literally, they're labeled as legendary. So anything of that caliber is basically either handed down or churned up by aboleths.
Great.
It's the completion for 7.5 years of questing.
All right. Well, hopefully those aboleths aren't wearing this. Let's see. I got 20 water skins full of wine. I have both elf and gnome porn. All right. If there's a nearby temple, I have 123 teeth. I'd like to try to get them enchanted.
There is certainly a temple in a city the size of Caldern. That I do feel would absolutely still be true, and especially in dire times, because, I mean, not to get, too metaphysical on it, but divine magic is provably real in their world, so, like, that's not shit you neglect.
I appreciate the callback, but I am deadly curious as to how this is going to play out.
Yeah. So we will say you will spend your turn looking around, and you will find a temple.
Excellent.
That'll be your first turn, as you locate a temple. It's not dedicated to any particular god. It's just sort of this is a port. It's a sailing town. Come here and pray to whoever you want.
So, yeah. A horror's temple. Okay.
Brandon Thighmaster.
Oh, I'm going to revisit, I believe it was a half-orc gentleman in a stall, and have my broom of doom rebristled.
All right. Broom bristles, I think, are a fairly common component. I don't see any reason you would have issues getting that.
Excellent.
I'll say 1 gold, just because I'm lazy and don't feel like calculating the cost of bristles. So they're a gold, but they're really nice.
I will make small talk with this stall keeper. See if he remembers me. Hi.
Get a lot of nudists around here.
That's surprising, actually.
Not really. Ocean's right there.
Any nudists with brooms?
I don't know. You know what? Let's find out. 10% chance feels around right for that.
I don't
Pick your,
know.
pick your range.
The janitor is a nudist.
Yeah. Pick your range, buddy.
Let's go for, what did you say the chances were? 10%.
10%.
0 to 10. Let's keep it simple.
33. All right. No brooms. 2 mops and a weirdo with a dustbin, but no brooms.
Well, at least they're keeping things clean. And humble. Anyway, nice to see you again, random storekeeper from many years ago. Thank you for the broom. It served me well.
My pleasure. Come back anytime, nudist.
I know they're hard to see, but I am wearing shorts.
I try not to look past the waist.
That's very sensible.
Keeps things polite.
You know, I haven't picked up much wisdom on my travels. In fact, you could say I've probably picked up the opposite of wisdom. Maybe. I don't know. You seem like a pretty wise guy. What's it like being a storekeeper?
Peaceful, easygoing. Except when monsters attack, of course. Then it's terrifying.
Huh. I guess it's not that much different from what I'm doing.
They never have exact change.
He just runs the everything's 1 gold store to keep it easy.
Well, I guess I'll see you. I mean, maybe not. But the good news is if I don't come back, we're probably all going to die anyway. Bye-bye.
All right, you wander off and hear him mumble, "This is the 3rd person this week to say that." World's bigger than just y'all, man. All right, Silas Kane, what horrors will you unleash?
Well, actually, and this might seem a little out of character, but Silas has been thinking a lot about the upcoming and potential end of the world and his inability to say his God's name. So I'm going to try to seek out a shrine of Toreg in Caldern. Because I want to see if I can do something about that. I've come to kind of a bit of insight with regards to what needs to be done. So I'd like to find another priest to my order and see what they have to say about it.
All right, you can head to the general temple that Klaus found. It'll also take you your turn to locate that.
Oh shit! Don't do that.
Yeah, so Klaus, you find the temple, and then in the distance you hear the clang of Silas Kane approaching.
Oh,
Bjorg Bjornsson.
Oh wow. I don't know. I don't think that he has any more shopping to do, and Bjorg's, let's face it, not super freaking religious. So I think he's gonna go find a garden somewhere, the prettiest garden he can find, and seek out just a little bit of peace to kind of gather his thoughts before he goes all rage monster in the final battle.
All right. And Gordon Skinflint will disappear. One of you can, I don't know, y'all can spot him occasionally running 3-card Monty, a shell game, just very clearly trying to scrape some cash together.
You very much assume we're looking for him.
Yeah. You glimpse him in the background. Whether you care or not is entirely up to you. All right, Klaus, we come back around to you, sir.
all right. I found the temple.
Yes.
All right. I'll walk to the nearest person who looks like he belongs there and say, "Sir, can you enchant these teeth?"
Can I? Well, can is a interesting question. What sort of enchantment were you looking for to start with, and where did you get these teeth?
Yeah. Listen, you want to be careful how you talk to me. I am the last line of defense in saving the world. So whatever you can do to these teeth to help me do that, do that, sir.
I could throw them in the garbage.
No.
I could bury them in lieu of the
That-
corpses.
Does not help me. All right, maybe I haven't made myself clear. The world is going to end.
Yes.
All I've got to fight with are these teeth? So make them better.
Uh,
I want to, like, if I throw them at somebody, I want them to turn into stone. Can you do that?
No, that's very much a wizard kind of thing. I can do this. And he holds out a hand, very much not touching the teeth. I want to be explicitly clear about this.
All right. Well, yeah, I
Hold,
didn't give him permission
holds
to.
out a
That's fine.
hand, and one of the teeth begins to glow.
Whoa. All right. What does that do?
It makes it glow.
That's a little bit helpful. I mean, yeah. Don't get me wrong. That's more helpful than just ordinary teeth, but not exactly what I was looking for.
Klaus, you can actually roll me a Knowledge Arcana if you have it, or just straight up intelligence check.
Let's see, Knowledge Arcana.
You are
I
a
do not
wizard,
have it.
so I think you might actually have it.
Oh, maybe I do. All right, I'm gonna roll it.
Roll intelligence to see if you remember that you're a wizard.
I got that natural one.
Oh.
You have no fucking idea how he did this, man.
Wow.
This is woo. This is magic, baby.
Some wild shit, dude. All right. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate your effort. I'm gonna go look for a wizard because this is stupid. Thanks for nothing, asshole.
You really turned on him at the end there. Brandon Thighmaster.
Brandon Firemaster is going to take a walk through the crowd and just have a look around and see what he can see. He's just going to enjoy being among people for a little while.
All right. You can actually roll me a perception. We'll see how much you see.
Okay, coming up. Perception. A 21.
Woo! All right. You can walk through the markets of Caldern. You can see people still buzzing about. It is still a port city, even when things are a little bit more strapped. You definitely notice people are kind of holding themselves a little closer. More people are armed. It's just generally a tenser vibe, but it is still a fairly upbeat and happy place. Lots of smiling people. It doesn't look like food rations have gotten too bad or anything yet, so nothing too dire. You see plenty of people in armor watching the water nervously. Several men unloading a ship. You of course take note of their excellent form because physical work. Yeah, it's a port city in the day.
Yeah, I'm going to help the guys shift some boxes. See if they mind.
No, they will not say no to free labor. That one is true in universal D&D and our world. All right, you can begin helping them with the boxes.
I will just experience that for a little while.
All right, Silas Kane.
All right. Well, in the temple, I'll walk through, kind of pointing towards my holy symbol, since I can't say Torag. Be like, just asking around. Be like, I seek a priest of my order for guidance.
They'll definitely have an area for Torag. I don't know if they would have a dedicated priest. I guess we'll roll for that.
An acolyte'll do.
We'll give you a 30% chance. So I'm doing a D100. Pick a range of 33.
33. Okay.
I guess I should actually just do a D3. That would be the easier way to do it, huh?
Okay.
All right. I'm doing a D3. Pick a number.
1.
3. All right. There is not a priest of Torag, but here, let's see. That doesn't mean there's no one with any Torag knowledge.
There's a secretary handing out Torag tracts.
We'll give you a 50% chance on this one. Do you want high or low? 97. Okay. So there is not a dedicated priest of Torag, but after lots of pointing and asking around, you do get directed around to one of the archpriests who has studied multiple disciplines for multiple gods as part of like a grand united divination theory, and Torag is a subject that he has researched at length, so he is knowledgeable about Torag, if not a dedicated priest.
Well, approach and be like, may I have a word, your eminence?
Of course, all who seek guidance are welcomed.
First, I'm going to pull out a big bag of gold. with 11,000 gold pieces and say, "First, I would like to make a donation."
The church always appreciates your Whoa! 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 Uh, your generosity.
That should buy his attention for a few minutes. So I'll start when telling my tale. I'll be like, "Well, for a long time now, I thought I was cursed by my god. He sent an avatar to me and removed my ability to speak the great god's name. But lately I've been thinking about that, and I realize it wasn't a curse. It was a sign. It was a blessing, and I think I know what to do now."
All right, we're gonna cliffhanger that one and go over to Bjork's turn. I'm very curious to see what this is gonna lead though. All right, Bjorg, you have spent your last turn finding a garden area, which you do.
Yep.
This is a big enough city that they would definitely have some dedicated public space for that. So yeah, you can find a good area with lots of flowers to kind of sit down and center yourself. You sort of feel that your blade is a little more at peace here too.
Yes, this is good. There's no mechanic for this, but I think Bjorg is going to commune with his ancestors.
Yeah, go for it, man. Is that like a class thing or is
No, it's not a class thing at all. He's just kind of.
no worries?
If he had some incense, he'd light it, but he ain't got any.
Flowers are the incense, man.
Flowers. Gonna slowly weave some flowers into a crown and center himself, and think about how far he's come, and how if he's gonna die, there are worse ways to do it.
All right. Gordon will continue his series of scams and hustles throughout the city.
I love the idea that because Gordon, like, all of this is happening at a relatively accelerated pace, which means Gordon is literally lightning blasting from scam to scam.
Yeah.
He's just speed running crime.
I just gotta get in there.
He is part monk. He does have enhanced speed.
He's running simultaneous scams. He's his own fucking mark in the crowd.
Flurry of schemes.
Flurry of schemes. Ah, ultimate rogue monk hybrid. That's something to think about.
All right. So while he zips around like a cartoon character, Klaus, we are back to you.
All right, Klaus has an idea. Instead of searching for a wizard, Klaus will search for a dentist.
Okay.
I always thought Klaus's problem was he didn't have enough spare teeth.
Well, now I've got to make a really interesting world decision on the fly.
Or whatever passes for a dentist. I have 20 wineskins.
There's not a dedicated dentist.
Someone with
but
pliers.
there is a dedicated shit.
It's just a fucking dwarf who's like, I can knock your fucking teeth out.
Yeah, I'm wondering how deep to go. Yeah, there's got to be some medical science because magic isn't super around. So there is a medicinal clinic you can go to. There's not enough medical science to specialize out, but anything that's injury based, you would go to them. So you can find the clinic.
That's fine. That's what I will do.
Okay. You will look around and you can find a clinic without too much trouble. It's made to be easily findable for obvious reasons.
Are we still going? Yeah. All right.
Just gonna let you get in there a little bit.
Yeah. I want to ask whoever I can. I would like you to replace one of my teeth with this, and I will produce the glowing tooth. What I'm thinking is, I can keep my mouth closed, and when they're dark, I can surprise, smile, light, sharpshooter. There you go.
This is the teeth you cut out of a disgusting monster, right?
I don't remember where I got these teeth.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just a mishmash bag of teeth at this point. He's taken a lot.
Various teeth.
It's a grab bag. It's a surprise party of teeth.
Big bag of smiles.
Yeah, the clerk will just gonna go. Oh yeah, we can do that. We can do that. What are you looking for here? You want the sheep? You want?
This person sounds like this happens all the time.
You're in a port city, man.
I felt clever until now.
You want the good, or you want the great?
Give me the great. I got some money to burn.
Honestly, that is the right call because the first two do not come with anesthetic magic.
Awesome. I do have like 20 jugs of anesthetic magic.
That will be 5 gold for the great.
5 gold, you say?
5 gold.
All right.
All right, you pay 5 gold. For scale, that is a shitload of money. It gets lost in the D&D shuffle, but like, y'all burn through so much wealth as adventurers. So yeah, 5 gold for a pretty simple procedure. They take you into a room, and that's where we'll cut off for you, Brandon Thighmaster.
Brandon will... He's got a bag of 75 platinum. He'll chuck it to the nearest dock worker. Say, thanks, guys. And wander off.
Yeah, we'll say you feel refreshed after the good old physical labor. It's not training, but it did give you an opportunity to lift heavy things, flex those muscles, bring you back in tune with the core of your discipline, working out.
And I would like to, while I'm by the dock, see if I can find a quiet place to try and commune with Brandegg.
Alright, you can go out to the dock, and it takes you a little time, but you can eventually reach him. It's a little bit fuzzy because of the distance he has to stay out.
Hey, buddy. Staying out of trouble?
I have eaten several monsters. They are delicious.
You're so cute. Hey, I wanted to ask you, do you remember much about when you were an egg?
Not particularly, though your voice and the loud ones did break through.
There certainly were many loud ones. I don't know, man. We left you on a boat quite a lot. I mean, we had shit going on, but I just wanted to say that it was nice having you around as a little egg.
Thank you. And do not feel bad for the moments of abandonment. Many would have cast me aside or left me in that place at the slightest suspicion of my nature. I am very grateful to you all.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, I've been doing some thinking lately. You know, I've always been pretty certain that I can never die. Because, you know, as you probably know, I seek to become one with the universe and thus become perfect as an entity can be. Well, I always thought that the universe would be greatly diminished by my presence sort of not being there. So I always just assumed that that would never happen. But I don't know, man. I had this guy I really looked up to, and it turns out he might not exist. And that's... It's kind of unbalanced me, and now I don't know. Maybe I can die.
Oh my god!
If the champion you believed in turned out to be false, then you must simply become that champion instead.
You know what? I think you got a point, man. Good talk. I'll see you on the boat.
All right. We've all been waiting for it. Silas Kane.
So Silas launches into his story. He's like, I always thought my place in this life, my mission was to spread the faith of the great God to our excuse me. In fact, I screamed his name with every breath to anyone who would listen, and he sent an avatar to still my tongue. And for the longest time, I was upset by this, but now I realize I was unworthy to speak his name. But I also realized something else. No one is worthy to speak his name. So I realized what he has, the mission he has given me. I finally figured it out. From here on in, my life's goal will be to not only spread the word of his faith, but to remind mere mortals that they are unworthy of speaking his name. And thus, I shall cut out the tongues of non-believers everywhere! And true believers as well.
Yeah, probably mostly true believers.
Yeah.
So what do you think of this idea?
You're one of those gentlemen on the deadly aboleth mission tomorrow, correct?
Quite true.
I will pray for the outcome of your life, my boy. I can
Excellent.
promise that I shall pray to the gods and speak about the length of your life.
Excellent. And in return, I shall say, speak no more of the great god's name. Otherwise, you may wake up one night and I will be there with a knife. Spread the word.
And this is how Silas became the arch villain of the setting.
Became.
Okay.
Game have you been watching?
So Silas, having unburdened himself, Silas will walk out, but keep an eye and ear open for anybody who's speaking, who's profaning, Toreg's name by speaking it aloud.
All right. Anyone who is outside can catch sight of Gordon dashing by in multiple costumes. Sometimes from conflicting directions, in fact. I don't want to say full-on Scooby-Doo doors, but not far off.
He's got into such a whirlwind of scam, he's playing Free Card Monty with himself.
All right. Klaus, you are going to spend your round getting surgery done.
Awesome.
All right. When the round is over, you will have a tooth that is currently glowing.
Nice.
All right. Brandon Thighmaster, you are at the docks.
Well, with some time to kill, Brandon's going to go and find any sort of town square or place of gathering. Find the highest point he can, some kind of convenient plinth, and just relax by striking a pose for a bit.
All right. You can climb up onto one of the buildings in Caldern. You are able to literally walk up the sides of buildings, so there's not much point in rolling for it.
Just casually strolling up the sides of a building.
I do imagine that sometimes. It's like, I know it's technically because you're moving so fast, but it's hard not to picture just like a walk, a casual stroll.
His toes are so muscular, he can just grip in between the bricks.
It's fine as long as I don't stop.
As long as nobody thinks about this, it's fine.
That would be the fun next level of the monk climbing, is like the Wile E. Coyote air stepping.
Just to unlock the Looney Tunes level.
Yeah. You can run on air so long as you don't look down.
Don't look down. No matter what that fucking bird tells you. Alright, okay, yeah. I will roll a performance. Shirtless. Oiled, so with advantage, I believe. There's a charisma roll. Natural 20.
Okay. You hear some clapping from the people in the market, and go ahead and roll me perception.
Perception. Natural 1.
All right. You don't hear anyone comment about where you rank among the nudists that have done similar feats.
Probably just as well.
All right, Silas, you have threatened an archpriest, declared your intent to cut out tongues. What's next?
I guess I'll walk through the town and see if there's anybody who looks distraught and in need of comforting. Because that's what paladins do.
Yeah. You do see what appears to be a noblewoman in fine dress crying over a broken locket, but upon closer inspection, that's Gordon. So, you're not sure what that's about, but that's just probably not your problem.
Not at all.
Yeah, I gave a description earlier, and everything was peaceful. So currently, everything is peaceful.
All
This
right.
is the nice little piece y'all are fighting to protect.
Eventually, then I'll wander over to the poor sections, because poor people are always distraught and in need of guidance.
Silas just really wants to cut out someone's tongue and get arrested before this.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Silas, roll me a perception check.
Excellent. Silas rolls a 7.
It appears as if the poor section has become deserted.
Huh.
Bjorg.
All right, communing with the ancestors.
That's right, you're communing with your ancestors.
Uh-huh.
And Gordon has finished his locket scam and is currently trying to sell musical instruments to a struggling academy.
I just get the feeling that while he was in goblin form, he had so many unresolved plots.
Gordon is just going through the entire plot of The Music Man while we're...
Oh yeah, among others.
There's an entire series of Broadway shows happening in the background.
One of which he's producing to fake a loss. All right, Klaus.
All right, am I awake?
Yes, you have finished up your surgery. You got the great one, so it was quick, painless, and easy.
Nice. Is my tooth glowing?
Your tooth continues to glow.
All right. I guess we have a mission to get on, but while we have some shore leave, I guess I'll go visit a wizard and see if anything can be done with the other 122 teeth.
You can look around and find a shop that sells magic items that does have a wizard working there.
All right. What can you do with these teeth?
Oh God. Consecration for the crime that's been committed?
Listen, are you a priest? I've already done this. Look at this. I give him a big grin.
I have a scroll for it. I mean, I didn't know why I would need it, but this feels like the day.
What's with the morals, buddy? I already talked to a priest.
I give him a big shiny smile. Look at that. Huh?
I guess.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Maybe how many teeth do you have?
122 plus the ones in my mouth.
Hang on, I have to look something up.
If each one could do a different thing, that would be awesome. Like, well, the ones in my mouth. And then other ones that like
Things
extra ones.
I didn't know I would ever have to Google.
Like I could, I said to the priest, I said, you could throw it at somebody and turn to stone. They said, go see this wizard guy. He said, go see you, and you could do that.
All right, one more time.
Those were his exact words.
How many teeth do you have?
122 plus the ones in my mouth.
Okay. So the shopkeeper will kind of look them over and be like, "Yeah, I can't really do any of that. That's like fancy wizard stuff. I'm like the kind of wizard who runs a shop, man. I'm not out there kicking ass. I'm just trying to get by, but I deal with a lot of weird scrolls that come through, and I do actually have one that might be able to use these as materials."
Oh.
Is it a scroll of get the fuck out of my shop?
What do you got for me?
So he will tell you that he can use a scroll of bone forging to create a tooth golem for you.
Awesome. How much is that?
It's not cheap. It costs 5,000 gold.
Done.
All right. He will take the collection of teeth from you, and we will begin the actual magic next turn.
Okay.
Because I also have to try and figure out how big this thing is going to be.
With 120 teeth, I don't know, maybe like 8 inches tall.
Well, it's like, what even dimension am I looking for? I guess, am I looking for like the square foot of a tooth?
Are you asking me?
I don't. Anybody who's mathy.
Not me. I'm getting out a
I've never tried
calculator
to make like a Lego man out of teeth.
I had to look up how much a tooth weighed and run the calculations to see if that would be enough to constitute a golem. I feel like a 230-pound golem is enough.
That's 230 pounds.
All right.
Those are some heavy teeth.
All right, I'm just gonna be freelancing on the sides. All right, we're gonna go with whatever feels right. But we'll get to that.
True. None of this feels right.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably not the words I should have used. Brandon, it's your turn. Please, God, cleanse this palate.
Oh well, that was refreshing. Flexing and stretching and not being too worried about who's actually looking for a change. So Brandon will use his vantage point to look for his compatriots, see who he can see.
Outside currently, Klaus is doing teeth stuff. Silas is looking for trouble. Fandango has a bucket. Bjorg is over in a garden. So you can see Silas and Gordon.
Not great options. I'm not ready to talk to Silas yet. I will wander around, see if I can find the others.
Okay. Roll me a... Oh, excuse me. Roll me a D4. You don't want a 1.
D4. 4.
All right. You find Bjorg. He is sitting peacefully in a patch of flowers in the city garden. Appears to be deep in meditation.
I say, hey man, seeking inner peace.
I was.
How's that working out for you, buddy?
Well, I have thought about my ancestors, mused and ruminated upon all of the travels I have had since I have begun this journey from my homeland in the north, and I have come to the conclusion that if this upcoming battle is one in which I should perish, there are far worse ways to die.
You know, it's a sound way of looking at it. I was I don't know, I was always sort of thinking it's about being the best you can be, you know? But I had a little chat with Brandegg, and I'm starting to think that maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's about surrounding yourself with the best people. And I only got you guys. But I thought I got some gold left. You fancy getting a drink?
That sounds delightful, honestly.
Cool, let's round up the idiots, see what they're up to.
Nothing could go wrong.
Well, as y'all can walk out and easily find Silas K.
Hey Silas, I've decided to forgive you for crushing my fucking dreams. You want to get a drink?
I mean, I guess I could use some dishwater.
Yeah, I can stand you around a dishwater.
Yeah, and maybe there's people at the bar in need of having their tongues removed.
Almost certainly.
On second thought, perhaps it's very good that we maintain watch over this man.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting that vibe.
He kind of feels like he's your albatross now. Bjorg, did you want to do anything besides go to the bar?
No, I think I'm going to go with.
All right. Gordon will finish up his hustles and arrive in the bar next to y'all, sweating, panting, but holding a new item. He got his own weapon through lots of chicanery.
Keeping yourself busy?
I had so much time to make up for. Oh man, if we live through this, I'm gonna steal everything that's not nailed down in the next town.
Yeah, it's a good attitude. You gotta make the best of the time you have. Or the worst, I suppose.
Alright, and Klaus.
Alright, this may seem a little metagamey, but yeah, Brandon and Bjorg and Silas have all kind of seek to better themselves, and I feel bad that I'm not doing the same thing. So I'd like to go.
What are you talking about? You gotta do two.
Well,
Yeah, you're getting a tooth golem this
that-
round.
All right, yeah. Well, after that happens, I'd like to go visit that priest I called an asshole and apologize.
Alright, so we're gonna say that the clerk is gonna work on your tooth golem for a little while. It'll take some time to convince the gods to let this exist, basically. So you'll get tooth golem before you head out, but you can go to the priest and make your apologies.
All right, and well, all right. So what does he say? So, listen, man, I'm sorry. I was a little short-tempered. Look at what I did, though. I smile at him. Huh?
Very lovely, very lovely.
All right.
It is all right, my son.
All right.
In dire times, we all find our patience tested.
All right, good. Now that I've got him where I want him, I'll pull out my dick. Can you do that to this?
And Klaus is banned from the
Ah,
We've officially got a sex crime.
It's not a sex crime.
It's not a sex crime.
Sufficient grey area to have you banned from the temple.
I feel like pulling your dick out will get you tossed in pretty most places. And you do hear someone mutter, "Damn nudists again."
I guess that's a no. All right, well,
Yes.
glowing dick would have been awesome, but yeah, that's fine.
All right, Klaus, did you have anything else you wanted to do?
No, man. The tooth golem was more than I expected. The glowing dick would have been gravy, but I'm fine.
All right. I will assume you wander your way to the bar because, well, it's been 7.5 years. We know this character. You guys can toast and drink to your potential last night together. You all have a good evening. You turn in when you turn in. That's up to you individually.
I want to hear the
rest.
toasts. What's everyone's toast?
God.
I'm not really toasting. I'm paying attention to what everybody's saying, seeing if anybody's blaspheming, because I don't have a dagger on me, but I do have a longsword and a miner's pick. So,
Wow.
Let's have a toast. Everyone drink.
There you go. Before you head out, a crate is delivered to the ship for Klaus with a note that the item he requested has been completed, and there is a magical seal on the box to ensure it cannot be opened until you are out to sea. He adds that this was put in place by the Caltern overseers of the market, and he does agree with them.
Oh God, what have we created?
A tooth golem?
Yeah.
It's exactly as horrible as you think it is. I'll see if I can find some art before next time. But yeah, y'all set out to sea. You're joined by a couple of ships from Caldern, led with Judge Hungry at the prow. You all begin following the giant monster with a top hat toward the Aboleth Lair, where the final battle of the Chronicles of Calamity will begin next time on Authors and Dragons.
do I get to cut out anybody's tongue on the trip?
Not so far, but we still have a few more games.
All right.
But as you know, we are not done. We carefully collect, corral, and cultivate your questions as we are doing the game, both on Facebook and on our Discord, which is associated to our Patreon, patreon.com/authorsanddragons. If you want to join and hang out, it's a fun community. We do lots of cool shit. And on top of that, I was vamping, so Rick could find us our first question. Rick, lay it on me.
Gee, oddly enough, our first question's an easy one. What was your favorite part of Shingles the movie? Now available for pre-order from authorsanddragons.com. That last part wasn't part of the question. That was just me adding it.
Would have been a very considerate question had they added that.
Yeah, that would have been nice. I'm sure we all have our own individual parts, but speaking from having been on the commentary, Buick? If there's a team answer, I think it's Buick. She killed that part so well.
Really, yeah. Really embodied it well.
Yeah,
I will say, one of my favourite parts was an idea I had for a gore gag ages ago. And I didn't think they'd give it much credence. But I will just say there's a scene with a gnome and a power drill.
That was yours?
It just looks really fucking cool. That was my idea, but it's all Cody Rock.
I didn't know that.
I wrote, yeah.
That's great, yeah.
I wrote, this happens with a gnome. That'll be funny. But the magic of Cody Rock made it look as awesome as I dreamed. And I think it's a real standout horror movie effect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To shout out a favorite part from my particular story, I loved the interplay of PB Smooth and Steve Radzinski as the two co-leads on that one. That was very funny. I thought they were great.
Oh, they were fun.
Anytime Buick sings a song, which apparently she made up on set, They're just funny as fuck.
Yeah, that was gonna be mine. Like, I feel like this is an actress who really understands what I'm doing here, and
Finally,
is
someone gets
improving
me.
upon it. And that is not a compliment I give out lightly.
A step above. Absolutely.
Our friend Queen Crush asks the all-important question: dragons or dinosaurs?
Dragons. Dinosaurs can't cast magic.
Dragons.
Dinosaurs,
Yeah.
because they can't cast magic.
Shit, man. I think I just thought of our next fantasy series. Dinosaurs, but they can cast magic. Pterodactylsaurus, motherfucker.
I'll say dinosaurs as long as they're not at Dinosaur Land.
No. Those are what dinosaur wizards look like, Rick.
I so want, like, if I ever become a billionaire to the point of a Night at the Museum movie set in that dinosaur land with those shitty ones coming to life. I want to see that mammoth kill somebody.
No, it's up there. It's like, you need to kill us, Rick. Our existence is agony.
Mammoth just spends the entire night just doing meth.
Yeah. Another night for meth mammoth.
It just starts chasing people around and demanding to know if they have meth.
Just sniffing them big with that truck. I smell it on you. Oh, God. Okay, if any of us become billionaires, we have to promise
Absolutely.
to make that movie.
Yeah. I solemnly swear. It'd be morally remiss of me not to.
Absolutely. That's the way you waste $1 billion.
Not even. That's why you want to be a billionaire, because you only have to waste like 20,000 on that.
I mean, how much do you think those things cost?
Oh, I know. But imagine if you did put like 200 million into
Then
it.
you're doing it
with
wrong.
Fucking James Cameron style.
I'm making intricate 3D models of those things.
It's all IMAX 3D, motherfucker.
And if I'm a billionaire, I can actually afford to fucking pay my animators. Which
Oh,
would
God.
be novel. Yeah, no Life of Pi bullshit here. It'd be the worst movie ever made, but everybody who worked on it would remember it fondly.
They'd be like, yeah, we had a special effects studio that didn't go bankrupt immediately after finishing the project. It's the weirdest day.
We made horrors, absolute horrors, but we got
Yeah.
paid.
When I die, I will have to answer to God for what I have done, and I'm just going to show him the check.
5 Nights at Dinosaur Land.
I can't remember the movie that Michael Caine is in that's famously terrible.
Just Jaws the Revenge.
I think it is. It's Jaws the Revenge, and there's an interview where someone asks him, have you ever seen it? And he says, no, but I have seen the beach house that the paycheck bought me, and it was lovely. Honestly, respect. If anybody deserves that, it's Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Michael Caine deserves a beach house.
I forgot what the question was. I got caught in the fantasy.
Michael Caine and Dinosaur Land.
I think there's still dragons or dinosaurs.
Oh, wow. Wow, we really spun out on this one.
No, I think we answered it, though. Industrial light and magic dinosaurs.
Yeah. The answer is Michael Caine.
All right. So our friend Kyle the Goof asks, I'm facing some very big life decisions right now as I shop for a new car, begin a fresh job, and contemplate moving. What are the biggest decisions you've made in your lives?
Probably the biggest and best one I made was, which is ironically one everyone says not to do, is I got married at 22. But it's worked out pretty great.
I think I've talked about this a little bit, but professionally speaking, I took the jump into being a full-time writer way before I should have. Just looking back, it is gallingly stupid, but it was somehow the right call, because the books I wrote then helped me keep things going with momentum that I really needed to kind of push off and sustain. And so it's a weird one to think about, but it was both logistically a really dangerous, stupid decision, but somehow the right one.
I don't make decisions. I just let things happen and then complain about it.
I went to Korea. That was, yeah, for someone with no direction at the time, that seemed like an okay choice. And yeah, worked out for me.
I mean, sometimes the biggest decisions come from the smallest things that like they snowball. And I mean, ultimately, one of mine came down to one year I had no idea what to get my wife for her birthday. And I went up in like, at my job in an office with a VP who's telling me, who just would not shut up about, it's like, oh yeah, I bought this thing called a Kindle and it's like awesome and like, stuff. And I was just like, okay, that's fine. And after a few minutes, I was like, all right, think I got a gift for her. And honestly, if I hadn't bought that, there would be no Bill the Vampire, no Hybrid of High Moon, none of that stuff. Mind you, I'd probably still be earning a steady paycheck, but take that as you will.
Yeah, the small decisions are weird to think about, like in hindsight. Like I talked about the big moment, but the small moment was I got an office job where I was bored as shit a lot of the time and got into web serials and decided to try to write one. And that was my tipping point.
The gateway into my career was basically choosing to go to a sword class after hearing a guy was teaching them on a forum. I went for an hour, and that sword class turned into the going to the other school that basically had a number of writers in it that basically kicked off my actual career. So if I hadn't gone to that random sword class because I saw someone posting about teaching on a web forum, I don't know where my career would be right now.
All right, we have one more. It's kind of a combination of two, but it's pretty much kind of the same question. So our friends Earthskater and Zach of All Trades asks, do any of your characters have guilty pleasures you didn't get to write about, or headcanon that hasn't made it into the game?
My character's guilty pleasures are all over the pages.
God help us if Klaus has a thing he wants to keep hidden.
I think Bjorg's predilections are pretty clearly out there. I don't think he has an. I think pretty much Bjorg is what you see is what you get.
Very much the case with Brandon also. I don't think he believes in guilt.
Yeah, like Silas spent the first 20 years of his life just having Tuareg literally beaten into him. Like, as far as he's concerned, like, the concept of guilty pleasures are a sin.
I would say the concept of pleasure is probably.
Yeah.
No pleasure, just guilt.
I think I got to see one of Gordon's guilty pleasure / headcanon things now that he's freed from his goblin thing is he loves to scam. He did have to get in trouble in the first place, so.
Makes sense. We can assume that Fandingo's guilty pleasure is being in the bucket.
Oh god, he liked it all along. Rick, was that the last from the Facebook or from the Discord?
From the Discord.
Okay. All right, why don't we head on over to the Facebook and see what folks are wondering about. I think we've still got time for a couple more.
All right. Let's see here. Our friend Jamin asks, April Fool's is almost here. What's your favorite prank you've ever pulled?
Oh, God. Is there such a fucking thing as a good prank?
Yeah.
Those have gotten less funny as I've gotten older, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Surprise, unless the prank is like surprise paying someone's electricity bill. That's a great prank. Do that prank all day.
I mean, I agree. Most pranks are dick shit, but I had a bit of fun one time, and I think I've told this story. Growing up, my uncle used to tell me that he had all sorts of things. He had like wolves in his backyard. He had a shark in like a hidden bathroom in a bathtub or so. And I believed all this stuff, but I always growing up, I always thought this was great, these stories. So my oldest, I convinced her and her friends. I told them one time, I was like, I keep a pack of wolves underneath the backyard deck. And the kids were like, well, show me. And I was like, well, I can't. They're asleep right now. It's during the middle of the day. They're like, but I was like, I'll tell you what. Why don't you go and play, and I'll see if I can wake him up. So they went and played, and I got out I got out some red food coloring, and I poured it all over my hand. And I started yelling, and they came out, and I was like, I tried to wake them up, but see what happened. And the thing was, you could see in their face that they didn't buy it for a second, but they were young, so there was just enough disbelief there for like the eyes to open wide and be like, should we go check this or?
I think I've told this one before. My dad, during Halloween one year, got a mannequin and a coffin and like dressed it up in a big Dracula suit with a latex mask and everything for like a month leading up to Halloween. So, everybody just got very used to the mannequin that was there, no big deal, etc. So, when Halloween actually arrived, he went out early before people were like off of school and everything, took the mannequin in, put the costume and latex mask on himself, and then took his position in the coffin so that he could jump out and like scare our neighbors and stuff, who were just like walking past it without a second thought.
Nice.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I've told my family about that story. I don't know why you guys are so down on pranks. I mean, I am because I haven't done any good ones.
I was talking about this the other day to my sister. I'd forgotten about it until she mentioned it. But when she was about, she would have been about 13, and I was about 15. And she had a slumber party, and she had a load of mates over for her birthday. We worked out this plan that they would start telling each other scary stories, and that she would tell a particular scary story with a trigger phrase. And I had this big navy coat and fedora, and the trigger phrase was said, and I basically just kicked down the door with a butcher knife, and the chaos was fucking, it worked perfectly. There were screams, there were tears. It was
Christ.
It was just absolutely a case of like the right idea, the right time, the right atmosphere, the right look, perfect timing. I mean, I don't know. There'd probably be some complaints these days if I threatened people's children from the fucking SJWs. Back then, it was I don't know. It was just a good time.
Oh man,
A stupendous prank.
I've probably pulled better pranks, but the only one that I can remember is when I was still a late teenager. It was when pay at the pump gas stations were started to be more common. You use your credit card there at the pump, and yeah, my sister didn't know about it, so I used my credit card. I filled up the tank, and I said, "Should we just go?" She said, "No, I don't think you should do that."
I actually thought when you first started telling it, I thought, I once did a prank once. I once stole a bunch of shit from Is that a prank? If I just take someone's money?
Oh no, I I don't have a ton of funny pranks in my own backstory, but there's one that my family likes to talk about sometimes. My dad's great uncle, I think, was a moonshiner, and he had, I don't think he was like a big deal or anything, but it was prohibition, and the local police discovered his operation, and so they came to his farm to arrest him, and he snuck out of the house as they were approaching, and startled and let all of his cattle out, and there was a massive stampede. And the cops basically, like a Benny Hill routine, spent the next like 12 hours trying to corral his cattle back.
You'd be like, the punchline was like a massive stampede, 16 people were killed.
It's
I don't
hilarious.
think anyone was killed. But apparently afterwards, he dressed up in his finest Sunday clothes, turned him into the police station, and explained that he didn't want to be arrested in his farm smock.
That's a fucking power move.
I was gonna say it's like that's my Sunday best.
That's some Al Capone shit. That's walking in like you own the place. No, motherfucker, I come in on my terms. All right. What do we say we take one more from Facebook?
Yeah, sure. Our friend Stephanie asks, once the conclusion happens, can we get a little epilogue off into the sunset on each character? Does the group finally abandon Silas? I mean, we might kill Silas for all we know.
Yeah. I think now it is important to establish, final battle by nature made to be a little bit harrowing, so not for sure everyone will make it through, but I think if y'all want to do some epiloguing, we can certainly make space for that. That's kind of up to the individuals playing their characters.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it'd be a fun thing. If Bjork survives, I'll riff something up.
There's a certain well I want to check out.
And I kind of feel like the end of the campaign has to be Klaus climbing back into the well.
Yeah, right. It is actually probably important to note here as well, though, that although Chronicles of Calamity is coming to an end, that does not mean that these characters are, written out forever. As we do more campaigns going forward, one of the things we really want to do is be able to mix and match and make combinations with old and new characters that we haven't seen before. So although this particular adventure will have reached its conclusion, that definitely doesn't mean there might not be more in the future, be it together or off on different other adventures that you would want to tune in and check out.
Indeed.
Unless they're fucking dead.
Unless everybody dies. If they all die, then none of that.
I'm just waiting to see if we get the demon horse at the end.
Let's say this is a group finally abandoned Silas. I think it's more important to Silas let them abandon him.
Yeah. I've never thought that anyone was inviting Silas along. Oh, man. All right, everybody. Well, that is going to do it for this week on Authors and Dragons. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back next week with a side quest, and then again in 2 weeks' time with the next chapter in the final chapters of the Chronicles of Calamity. And we've had a lot of prep, but next time it starts. The big battle, the Aboleth fight, the gathering of the forces. It's getting real in the Whole Foods parking lot, y'all.
Hell yeah.
Until then, bye.
Goodbye,
Bye.
friends.
Give me your tongue.
Jesus Christ.
Authors and Dragons is brought to you under a Creative Commons license, meaning you are free to share this material so long as credit is given to those who created it, which is us, the people you just heard play the game. Opening and closing themes performed by the Gore Core 4.
Authors and Dragons! Authors and Dragons!
It's not a sex crime.